In this video, I'm going to continue with exercise 1, still in 7.1. Just simply skipped ahead several problems, all the way to problem number 13. Actually, as it turns out, I'm backtracking a little bit here. I thought these two problems were worthwhile to go over on a video because they demonstrate some useful concepts and are often a source of confusion. So certainly I recommend that you work these problems in advance, but just to double check so that you can follow along as I think my way through the problem, I think this video will be quite useful for many of you. So in 13, just as we were in the previous problem, problem 14, we're given 4 premises to work with, and our task is to find the rule, which of the 4 rules we can apply to this information. So again, at this point, it might be process of elimination. What many of you will spot here is that in 4 we've got a wedge, so you think to do disjunction syllogism we need the negation of the first disjunct. That is in fact a good thought. We've got something quite similar to that in line 3. But the first disjunct is F, and the negation of that would be not F. And not F and not F sounds quite confusing, but not F and not F are not logically equivalent. So 3 and 4 is close to disjunction syllogism, but go back and check the visual explanation as well as the verbal explanation of DS, and you'll see that the pattern doesn't quite match. So DS, good thought, but it doesn't quite match up. HS is pretty close, looks like 1 and 2, 2 horseshoes, good. And common variables, we've got a couple C's, we've got a couple F's, but notice we can't do our cross-canceling, either forward slash or backward slash. So HS is also out, which on 13 leaves us either with modus tollens or modus ponens. To do modus ponens, we would need the antecedent of one of these 2 horseshoes by itself. We would either need not C by itself or C by itself, which we don't have. So modus ponens likewise is out, which leaves us only with modus tollens. In this particular case, we're going to be using lines 1 and 3. So that's our justification, using lines 1 and 3 and the rule of modus tollens. On line 1, horseshoe is the main operator, so one condition is met. In line number 3, we've got the negation of the consequent. The consequent is not F, so the negation of that would be not F. Just simply add a tilde to what's already there. And again, don't let the tildes confuse you. 2 consecutive tildes, often confusing, but that's precisely what we need. Again, consequent is not F, negation of that not F, so 1 and 3 modus tollens, and we get out the negation of the antecedent. Antecedent is not C, so to get the negation of that, we just simply add in another tilde, which would be not C. Again, don't let the 2 consecutive tildes throw you off. The exact same pattern, a little bit more complex, but the exact same pattern demonstrated by the visual explanation of modus tollens. On now, skipping ahead to our last problem in this section, problem number 20. And quite obviously here in these 2 videos I've only gone through 4 of the 20 problems. I highly recommend that you go through all 20. Many of you will be able to fly through this without any problems whatsoever. But trust me, it is good practice. If you think that this is too simple for you, if it's too dumbed down for you, nonetheless pile through it. Won't take much time. It'll be quite useful in moving on to exercise 3, and then to 7.2, 7.3, 7.4, 7.5, 7.6. So it starts off really fairly straightforward, quite simple, but keep in mind it does snowball. Don't let it get out of control. Put in the necessary work now, and you won't have any problems when we get to the difficult sections, 7.4, 7.5, 7.6. So in any case, let's finish up our last problem here, 20. 20 is a little bit more complex than anything we've seen thus far, not because there's more information given to us, but because the information that is given to us is a little bit more complex. So let's take stock of what we've got. 1, we've got a horseshoe, 2, a horseshoe, 3, a negated variable by itself, and 4, also a horseshoe. So we know right off the bat DS is out. There isn't any wedge statement present whatsoever. So let's continue to think through our options, and eventually you'll come to the conclusion that we need to do 2 and 4 modus ponens. In 4, we've got a horseshoe statement. There's our main logical operator. And in line 2, we've got the antecedent by itself. The antecedent to line number 4 is everything there to the left of the horseshoe, everything there in the parentheses. Q horseshoe G, which is exactly what we're given in line 2. So it's a little bit more complex than anything we've seen thus far, but that's the exact pattern demonstrated in modus ponens. Horseshoe statement, antecedent, and we get out the consequent, everything there to the right of the horseshoe statement, in this case, A wedge N. So that's 2 and 4 modus ponens, and that in fact is the only rule that we could possibly apply to the 4 premises that are given to us. So that finally completes exercise number 1. From here in the next video, I'll skip ahead to exercise number 3, and once again only go through a handful of the more difficult problems.